this is Cindy and
Rosita.
and we are at Seal Beach and we are hanging out in the car. It's raining, it's cold outside, but it's quite beautiful and peaceful. In the car we got some snacks. We got our usual ashwagandha tea, and we have some gummies, like the shark gummies from Trader Joe's, and some crunchy peanuts and some chocolate. So we got our treats and we have our tea and we're ready to chat away. The song that we are dedicating is Pajarito Colibri, and the lyrics go like this, and it's in Spanish, so you have to hear it in Spanish, but I'm going to read some of these lyrics in English. Everything is going to be okay, little hummingbird. Don't be afraid to live anymore. Everything's going to be okay, little hummingbird. You came into the world to be happy. Today the valleys, forests, and mountains want to see you go. Today trails, seas, and clouds will watch over you. If you are sobbing about love, unable to sleep, just sing. This is by Natalia Lufrancada, Pajarito Colibri. And we don't have a question we don't have a quote necessarily today, but a sparking question that I heard somewhere this week, and it says, who would you be if you didn't care what others thought of you? So just to spark our conversation for today, who would you be if you didn't care what others thought of you? And I think it goes beautifully with our mugs that we bought, some matching mugs, and this question, who would you be if you didn't care what others thought of you, along with this mug. And I think it comes down to us and the way we view ourselves and the faith that we have in ourselves that allows us to be able to fly as free as a bird and not hold ourselves back. I think what I'm trying to get at is, who would we be if you didn't care what others thought of you? I think we'd just be imperfectly perfect. What do you think?
You're right. Yeah, if you choose to be whoever you want to be without, thinking about the other people. By myself, I think I will not change. I will not change the way I am. Right now, I just think it's just the right me.
I love that. That's a beautiful saying. The right me. In this moment in time, you are the right me.
Yeah.
And even if you're broken hearted, even though you're mourning, you're grieving, even though you may have some anxiety of what happens next, you are
me.
You are just me. Not me, but you're you. I love that. That is perfect. That's imperfectly perfect.
Yes.
How
about you?
Who would I be if I didn't care what others thought of me? You know what? I think I'm in the same place. I'm just me right now. I'm not holding back. I'm not hiding. I'm as vulnerable and transparent as I possibly can be. Maybe there's some little secrets that I do keep at bay, but they're not big when it comes to who I am, me. And I think recently I was able to open up to you, my therapist, and my kids. I've been open about a certain particular situation that I've been in and struggled with, and I think when I finally opened up to my therapist, which was the last person I had to reveal something to, it really set me free, and it let me know that it's okay. And I think when we stop, and it's not necessarily that we stop caring about what other people think of us. I think when it just basically comes to how we view ourselves in front of the world. And if we stop caring how we view if we hold ourselves back with the views, what if people think of me of I'm I don't know, too boastful, too shy, or what if I just look silly? I don't know. I think it really does detain us from just being our true selves.
And what about, are you scared to be you?
No.
No.
I love that I can sometimes wear 2 different pair of socks just because I'm in a hurry and couldn't find the other one, and that's okay. I love that I don't have the perfect going to Pilates gym outfit. I'm happy just being my what I call quirky self, and wearing like last week I went to the gym and I was wearing a sweatshirt that says "Be Courageous," and then I was wearing my yellow. I love funky socks, so I was wearing these yellow bright socks that have bees on it. And so I told my trainer, "Isn't this cool?" I'm like, and I'm like, "Can you see the theme?" And he's all, "What theme?" I'm like, "Look, be courageous." I'm like, he's all, "That's so corny." I said, "That's not corny, it's quirky." No, he says quirky is nerdy. But to me, like showing up to the gym with these bright yellow socks and beads, and just no, I don't think I am afraid to hide the true me anymore. I'm very proud.
You describe yourself right now like Punky Brewster. Remember?
Yes, I love Punky Brewster. And she was cool.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. We're women with curly hair. And that's as perfectly perfect as it can be. There is the hairstyle for curly hair is not the same every day. And if you start with good hair, curly hair in the morning, by the end of the day, it's a frizz mess. And like, what else can we do? Like, are we supposed to put like mousse and gel every other hour so it doesn't frizz up? I don't know. So, what I'm trying to say is, women with curly hair, it's tough and it's challenging to be perfect, and it's also very realistic and very true to just be us and just be messy. And it's just not for the outside appearance, it's sometimes for the inside too, the turmoil, the hurt, the fear. And I'm not saying that, hey, I'm gonna be messy all the time, my hair's gonna be a frizz and I'm gonna have mixed match socks. I love dressing up too. I love the process of getting what they say dolled up, putting on a nice outfit and putting on the makeup and all that. But that balance between you can be loose and you can be beautiful all at the same time, and it's okay. It just depends on the moment, the time, the place.
That remind me, Friday, yesterday, I went out with a friend. We were supposed to visit a friend that is sick. Well, I fixed up my hair and I dressed up supposedly, and I put a heart pendant on it, and I feel like, oh yeah, I put something different, So on the process to going over there and coming back, it was kind of windy too. When I came back and I saw myself in the mirror, I looked at the bride of Frankenstein. My hair was all the way up.
Aww. But you felt good about yourself.
I started laughing about me.
No, but when you began the process of getting dolled up,
yes.
You were happy, you were proud. It brightened your day.
Yes, and because I feel so good, I feel like, those ladies that they elegant, that they put the big, necklaces, and they look, elegant. So I just put a heart shape on it,
But isn't that
and my hair looks okay,
Yeah.
curly, but on the way back, but when I look and I say, oh my, this. But I I didn't feel bad. I just feel something funny. Not, and I said, oh my God, they saw me this way. No, I didn't care.
And isn't that that's a good imagery for life, right? We can start off on we could start with a good day, feeling emotionally, and then, bam, something just doesn't go right. The peaks, they call them the peaks and pits of life, right? I think something that I'm taking from what you just said, you woke up, you dressed up, you felt dolled up, you felt very happy, and then, whoa, at the end is like, what happened? I'm a mess. But you were laughing. You were still, your joy was not taken away.
No, my joy was not
And
taken away.
when I think about the peaks and pits of life, when we have the peaks, when we have the joy, we're embracing them, we're happy, we're smiling. But when those pits come, sometimes it's like it takes a toll on you emotionally, right? Things are not easy.
Yeah,
but
like last night, remember?
But perspective matters. Last night,
Remember?
when
Yeah.
you really broke down.
Yes, when you told me that.
Oh, when I told you about the dreams about the dream my brother or my son had about my brother
Yes.
and my dad.
And I went like this, and I was
Choking.
choking, but without, but because I was, I said, what did he dream? What? How did he had the dream with them? How did, he feel about it? And when you told me that was so sweet, that was like so real, or
So yeah. So the story to this is, and when we've had these talks, we're spotting two birds, we're spotting two ducks, and right now what we have in front of us is two Care Bears. One is a little blue one, and one is a little yellow one. And the blue one is he's the grumpy bear, and then we have the yellow one who's about laughter. And who do you think I would associate my dad with?
I don't know about you,
Uh-huh.
but I associated with the yellow one.
So my dad for you is the yellow
Is
one,
the
the
yellow.
laughter?
Yeah, this one, the yellow one.
Okay, and then the blue?
My son.
Oh, my brother. Okay,
Uh-huh.
that's interesting. I associate my dad with the blue one, grumpy bear, and then the yellow one with my brother. And do you want to explain why?
The color. Remember that your dad used to wear a lot of yellow shirt.
Yes, he gave it to Matthew.
For that reason, either was the red or the yellow one. But always when I see it and you ask, I saw him and my son with the blue one.
So for me, I associate my dad as, he was not grumpy. He was not like, every day I'm mad.
No.
But sometimes he'd get into his little attitude.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it was just one of his days. And he like, and I can understand why. I mean, the struggles that he had with his physical body, the pain. I mean, if you are a person who suffers with chronic pain, it reaches a boiling point at some time. And my dad was very strong, where he managed his pain. He went about his day, but then there was days where, like, He was feeling grumpy. Plus, he was a stroke survivor, and that has some effects on the brain too, where you can be sometimes a little grumpy, but nothing out of line. And with my brother, interesting enough, even though there was the anxiety, the depression, the struggle with some of the thoughts he battled with, I can still hear his laugh. He always found something to laugh at. And so when I see that yellow bear, I hear his laugh. And when I see the blue bear, I hear my dad's little, like, I can't even imitate it, but like, but I can hear that. So that's my story to that. So
you can hear Rosa.
Yes, or Captain Butter.
Yeah.
But the story behind you opening up, I mean, I think those were very strong emotions you shared yesterday. In this past week, I have had the experience of having, whether it was my dad or my brother's spirit, come to me like around 3 a.m. ish and just provide me some comfort and peace. It was mentioned that Saturday was very challenging, but in my sleep, in my rest, I felt them come, and I just felt some warmth and care and peace. And then my son was having some difficulty. All that to say is he had a dream about them, and in the dream, Grandpa tells him, come here, come follow me, and they're going up some stairs. And then when he gets to the top of the stairs, he sees my brother, and he says, hi, Uncle Robert, you look great, you look good, because he looked like he is in shape. And then they opened the door, and in opening the door, it guided my son through this other beautiful dream. And I'm thinking that brought him hopefully some peace. But in me expressing, hey, they appeared in his dreams, you were caught off guard, you were eating your dinner and you choked, and then you opened up quite a bit of how you're feeling about my brother's passing. You express some maybe guilt.
Yes.
You express, I felt that you expressed that maybe it's your fault. And then you express now you're a little anxious about life, like car accidents, like who will I lose next, kind of fear. I don't know.
Yeah. Fears, yes.
And I think that happens to all of us, especially when very hurtful and tragic things happen, and we become fearful. And it's like the song, do not fear. And the way I read the song, Pajarito Colibrí, don't fear, and just spread your wings and fly. Easier said than done, right? But I think getting your thoughts out is a healthy way to process these emotions, and then expressing them to your loved one, which is your sister, the fear you have. Because our fears, how would you describe our fears?
My fears are tragedy, fearful. But as God's believer, I shouldn't feel this way. But I'm glad that it's only momentary, and then I pray, and it goes away. But
yeah,
I had to fight it. I fight it. I don't have to. I do it, and with God's words.
Yeah.
And how about you? You all about the dream that you had.
It brought a big smile to me, because I believe that their spirits still are here, roaming with us and watching over us. Oh, you're still watching and you care for us. And not only that they present himself to him in the dream, they walked him into this other, I might call it universe, where it guided him through. He loves movies, so the movie that he saw is just sort of I would say what's the word? I can't find the word.
A little bit a piece.
Yes. Yeah.
When you told me the way it happens, it helped me. It helped me because then, like...
Mom, the people over there are doing exactly what I'm going to end up doing in a little bit. Running through the beach in the rain. They're doing it already.
Yes. Yeah, so, it brought me some peace knowing that, because that means that, because what it says that is, they're peaceful.
They're at
and
peace.
they're in the environment, in the another universe that is no worries, no, no sickness.
And because they're there in that heavenly place, they're paying it forward it to us by giving us peace in some of our hard times. And to me, that brings me a smile. That brings me joy. And I felt it too. Like I felt very brokenhearted last Saturday, and when I was there and I felt that presence of someone or someone's hovering over me, I was like, oh, this feels good. And I've been sleeping on the couch again and again, partly to see if I can feel their presence again.
The presence again.
But it's like you don't know when it comes.
No.
Yeah.
I felt it 2 times. Or 3 times. No, 3 times. And I say, okay. So I went and then reached out with my own hand to see if it was heavy, enough. But no. That reminded me that when I was giving you the massage, I said, no, you're not doing nothing.
Oh, yeah.
So in my head, I didn't feel the heaviness.
What my mom is talking about is I've been struggling with some physical pain, and I asked her, can you just massage my feet? Maybe that'll help. And so she started massaging me, and I'm like, Mom, I don't even feel your touch on me. So then she looks at me like, what? So because I have multiple sclerosis, what ran through my mind is, you're thinking, are your feet numb, so you're not feeling anything? And what I'm thinking is, your hands are so weak that they can't press. So both of us are like, what's wrong with us? But yeah, that was funny. Yeah. It's like you're pressing away, and I'm like, I don't feel anything. I gotta get you the little pincher strength in your hands.
I think I have one. Is that like a tube and you go like this, or a ball?
A ball can help, and also some clay.
Oh, okay.
But to close out this topic on who would you be if you didn't care what others thought of you, tied in with being imperfectly perfect. Another set of words that I really loved this week that I ran into, and I think it was on the Drew Barrymore show, it is redeemable qualities. Redeemable qualities. I love that.
Yes.
Or a redeemable quality, I guess I could say, is because if we're imperfectly perfect, there has to be that opportunity to welcome and have redeemable qualities. Because if we are imperfectly perfect, and that means that we are making mistakes, right? If we're imperfectly perfect, we make mistakes. And redeemable qualities, I think, are the cushion, otherwise known as forgiveness. Right. Not for forgiveness, maybe for others, forgiveness for ourselves. I love that, and I take it back to my brother, and my father. they were imperfect. I have said, and I love saying that I'm imperfectly perfect. They were imperfectly perfect. And I love the redeemable qualities that they arrived to over time. I don't know if you saw that in them.
Yes, I did. I saw. Yes.
And to me, it makes me very proud of them. It gives me hope. Because every day is a new beginning, and I think the redeemable qualities in us allow us to be able to have those new beginnings. If we fall short, guess what? We have an opportunity to redeem ourselves and try again. I think the problem is when we get stuck and we don't move forward and we don't open our eyes to our perfect selves, that doesn't allow us to grow. I was talking to my therapist today, and what I learned is that there's two us. There's the us,
Mm-hmm.
and then there is the us with the overstimulated nervous system. And usually what that can look like, if overstimulated nervous system can mean that irritability. And where does irritability stem from? Maybe anxiousness, right? And that overstimulated nervous system sometimes meshes with the true you, and combining that you with the overstimulated nervous system that maybe can come off as irritability, then maybe you can appear to be someone who just is upset or mad or giving attitude. So I thought that was interesting, because she says we all have that part. We all have two parts in us, right? We've all experienced some kind of trauma in our lives. We've all experienced some kind of hurt. And over time that builds up in our system, in our nervous system. And we act out in ways, sometimes it can be defensiveness, sometimes it can be protection, barriers that we put up, walls. So all that to say is being imperfectly perfect just broadens the who we truly are and who we are, and that's how we become so complicated. But I think that's what makes us beautiful.
Yes.
Complexity makes us beautiful.
I just love
What do you love?
I love I want, myself, that I don't want to change anything in my, I don't want to be nobody else, nobody else's, nothing, because what God had gave me, I'm so thankful. He gave me you, and you're so beautiful.
Thank you, Mama. You're beautiful too.
And I love you so much. Thank He gave me you, brother, and I had 48 years with him, 44 years with him, and we had up and downs, but I don't even count I only count the moments. I feel, that I feel with him, the times that we spent together, and the times that I spend them with you is it has no price, no price tag on it. I love you.
I love you too, Mama. I asked this week, a gentleman shared with me that he's been married, if I understood correctly, 46 years. And so I asked him, what is it what's the magic behind your marriage? And he said, good question. Let me think about it. And he said, compromise and empathy. Because it ties in sort of to not just relationships. It perfectly perfect. Knowing that there's two views. One, the true self, and one being affected by the things in our environment, our upbringing, things that have affected us over time and sit in our nervous system, right? But I think if we're able to compromise with the two yous and the two selves that are in us, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But having that empathy, knowing that we can be broken, but we can heal. Knowing that we can be irritable, but we can also be at peace. Knowing that we can be faulty, but then we can have those redeemable qualities to fine-tune ourselves. I think that is a beautiful life poem in itself. Any last words you want to share?
No, just have a beautiful time with your loved ones.
Yes, embrace them. Embrace their imperfect, perfect selves. I don't know how to put that better. If they're know that we're imperfectly imperfect. And sometimes maybe you feel bothered or upset. Just bounce back, compromise, because you know that we can empathize, know that we can redeem ourselves, know that we can love each other even when we're at our lows and when we're at our highs in lives. And at the end of the day, be you. Right? Just be you. As long as you're honoring yourself and others, respecting and loving, just be you.
Just be me.
Yeah.
Like it's for example, as I'm very upset right now.
Why?
No, I mean it's the same. I'm very upset. But however, I love you so much.
Yes. And it's so hard, right?
Yeah, but
easier said than done. I'm mad.
Because let's say that we not agree with, but then you love you. We love each other.
Mm-hmm. So we thank you for giving us the time to hear us out. We're putting this out into the universe. We don't know where it'll go, where it'll land, but if it lands somewhere in your heart and soul, I hope it brings you some kind of peace and healing. That's what we're aiming for. So thank you for listening, and let's see if, hold on, I'm going to turn on the car, and maybe we can give you a little sound of the rain or ocean. And I'm going to take this opportunity to dance like no one's watching out by the sand. Maybe to one of my disco songs that I've been listening to today. I don't know which one it'll be. But have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon. So remember, if you could be anything, be your imperfect self. Love yourself and dance like no one's watching. And here's the verse for this week.
Psalm 126. When the Lord brought back the captives to Zion, we were like men who dreamed. Our mouths were filled with laughter. Our tongues were sung a joy. Then it was said among the nations, the Lord has done great things for them. The Lord has done great things for us, and we are filled with joy.
Amen. Bye.